FAB-Racing.
AC40 Rookies. They're currently lining up on the grid for the first race of the weekend here at Rowrah up in West Cumbria. It's going to be really interesting to see what these guys are going to do. We've had some graduates from this class already move up into the AC40 Pro class, and now it's down to the likes of Oliver Hall, Harrison Day, Travis Shaw, Lewis Hull to battle it out at the front.
Yeah, and if you're the likes of Oliver Hall, as you say, who's been left after we've seen both Austin and Byron Johnson promoted up into the Pro class, and equally Finley Polhill, who's set to make his debut in the AC40 Pro class this weekend, however, suffered a broken collarbone in practice. So we send him our best wishes, and hopefully we will get to see him before the end of the season. But on pole position for this rookie class will be the 15 of Harrison Day, after a brilliant qualifying session earlier on today. He lines up alongside the 3 of Oliver Hall, who picked up his first win 2 weeks ago back at Ella Park, with Lewis Hull in 3rd, Travis Shaw in 4th position, with Callum Maxwell the 111 in 5th, with Chloe Sewell, brand new leathers for her, in the 6th position, the 101, and then rounding out the grid will be the 134 of Zach Penagar, who will be looking for speed this weekend, he told us.
Yeah, absolutely. When we asked him what he was looking for this weekend, he's looking to achieve speed this weekend. So aren't all these riders looking to achieve speed in their first season of racing here for the AC40 Rookies, and a type of circuit they possibly have never seen before. This is completely different to anything they've raced so far this season. A couple of riders, I believe, have done some laps around here in preparation for this weekend, but it's going to be interesting to see how they cope with a completely different style of circuit here this weekend. But it's all about Harrison Day, who's at the front of this one, the number 15 machine, set a 104.4 in qualifying and was almost a second quicker than anyone else. So it's very possible that we see him absolutely running away with it at the front. But Oliver Hall there in 2nd place on the number 3 will be looking to see what he can do to get on to the back wheel of Harrison Day. But their attention now will be to the lights for race 1 for the AC40 Rookies, the first race of the day here at Rowrah. It's Saturday and the racing is underway here at Rowrah. Brilliant start there from the number 15 of Harrison Day, cuts across the nose of Oliver Hall and leads into turn 1. Brilliant stuff there from the number 15. Oliver Hall slotting into 2nd place, with Travis Shaw there in 3rd and Lewis Hull there in 4th as well.
Yeah, brilliant start there from Harrison, holding off Oliver Hall in towards turn 1, that uphill off Camber chicane, and he now leads away, but Oliver is trying to stay with the race leader behind. As you said, Travis Shaw jumping up from 4th past Lewis Hull, who had a slow start into 3rd position. Now Travis, his best result so far this season is 4th place back at Wilton Mills, so currently running in a podium. Of course, there's still plenty of laps to go, 8 laps in this one, but you've got to think he's got a really good opportunity at a debut podium, which will be absolutely delightful for him. It's the brilliant start to the weekend. Yeah,
absolutely. So Travis Shaw, we've seen him knocking on the door of podiums in the past, and looking in a good place on this first lap to set himself up for a good race to try and fight for his first podium this year. Oliver Hall, currently in 2nd place, picked up his first win and his first podium back at Ella Park, so he'll have been delighted with that, and he'll be looking to consolidate on that here today. Harrison Day, a rider who I don't believe has had a win so far this season, so he's going to be looking to pick up his first win so far, but no, he did pick up a win back at Ella Park. Having looked back at my notes, so he's going to be looking to pick up his 2nd win
there we go.
of this season is Harrison Day. So he's definitely been knocking on the door for it a while, and did pick it up back at Ella Park, and looking in a solid place to be doing it again here today. 1.7 seconds was the gap from Harrison Day ahead of Oliver Hall on the first lap, so that's quite a gap that he's got already.
Yeah, he's done very nicely indeed off that line, and equally Oliver Hall has built himself a just over a 1.1 second advantage over Travis Shaw in 3rd position. But yeah, brilliant start from Harrison Day, and he will be hoping at picking up, as you say, 2nd win on the season after picking up a win in race 3 back at Ella Park. And yeah, he'd very much been improving, and we saw Ella, especially on Friday and in qualifying, he was mighty, just couldn't quite translate it over to race pace, and Oliver Hall had the weekend of his life it seems, at Ella Park. And Oliver has been telling us for weeks that he was desperate to get on that podium, and it had been locked out pretty much firmly by Austin and Byron Johnson and Finley Polehill. And after they got their promotion up to the pro class, Oliver did exactly what he needed to do and put the results down and got on the podium 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely so. And you can't take anything away from Oliver Hall as well. He worked really hard for that one and managed to clinch that one back at Ella Park. He was determined to pick up a medal, pick up a podium, and he made that one with 3 podiums back at Ella Park. And now looking to pick up a 4th here in race 1 for the AC40 Rookies. The first race of the weekend here at Ella Park, as Zach Penegar is just looking to get back onto his bike. So possibly a crash there for Zach Penegar, possibly found a little bit too much speed on that 134.
Yes, and Zach will be getting back on. We saw him go down in qualifying earlier and straight back on the bike, straight on it within seconds. He's very sprightly on his feet and wants to get back underway. Very much enjoys his racing, but it is Harrison's day that is still absolutely launching himself off into another stratosphere at the moment. A 6.4 second advantage over Oliver Hall in second position, and Oliver has bought himself a 2.5 second gap between himself and Travis Shaw from Barrow and Furness, not too far away from the Rowrah circuit. But this is a brilliant race from Harrison and a real confidence booster going into the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So Harrison Day's going to be looking to rack up the points here on this AC40 Rookie Cup. Of course, not a championship, this AC40 Rookie class, as Harrison Day comes around to lap Zach Penegar, who went down earlier on in this race and has rejoined this one. But Harrison Day putting a brilliant pace out the front, looking to pick up as many points as possible so he can then move up into the AC40 Pro class and prove what he can do there as well. But doing a brilliant job out the front of this one. 8.4 second lead it was over the line. And Harrison Day consistently at least 2 seconds quicker than anyone else out the front on each lap. So you're going to have to say it's going to be a tall order for anyone to be able to match Harrison Day this weekend. But anything can happen in racing, and the likes of Oliver Hall, Travis Shaw and Lewis Hull could find a little something for tomorrow's race.
Yeah, and if there's one thing that is bang on, is that Trystan will usually curse any rider that's out on circuit. We've seen it happen in the last 2 rounds. If he does tell you that something is going to happen, don't listen to him, because it's probably not. But yeah, hopefully Harrison Day can circulate the last 4 laps of this one. About 3.5 left to go, but he is leading away from Oliver Hall and Travis Shaw. A special mention goes to the battle between Callum Maxwell and Chloe Sewell, currently fighting over 5th and 6th position. Chloe's current best result of the season is 6th, and she is fighting for 5th position and improving and getting out there. She's in some brand new pink leathers this weekend. It looks very nice, all pink, black and white leathers, helmet and bike. So she's doing a great job of matching, and it looks very good out on circuit. But she's currently fighting for a best result of 5th, and in that battle with Callum Maxwell. But the man at the moment is very much Harrison Day, who's extended that lead out to 10.3 seconds. And as you say, is currently circulating about 1.5 seconds faster than anyone else. And this is brilliant pace there from him. You can see just bobbing the head just there, just come on, let's go, we can still do this. And he's obviously just in the groove now, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. So he's got himself into a real good rhythm at the front, putting out consistent lap times at the front and stretching out that lead with a 10.3 second lead he currently has. So looking really safe with 3 laps to go in this race for race 1 for the AC40 Rookies. The number 15 of Harrison Day, leading it by a long shot. Of course, the son of Josh Day, who was last year's Ducati Tri-Options champion and looking to defend that title this year as well. But this weekend, it's all about the little Harrison Day, the number 15, who is leading this one ahead of Oliver Hall, Travis Shaw and Lewis Hull. Callum Maxwell in 5th place on the number 111 machine. Like I say, a brilliant battle brewing there between Maxwell and Chloe Sewell. Zach Penegar in 7th in this one after crashing out earlier on and rejoining. So not the start to the weekend that Zach Penegar would have wanted, but a brilliant start to the weekend so far for the number 15 of Harrison Day. But like you say, Gareth, I don't want to curse anyone.
But one rider you won't be cursing is Chloe Sewell, as she tries to close in on Callum Maxwell, and she's really staying with the 1-1-1. And yes, you can see she's really starting to push in on the rider ahead, and just with a lap and a half to go on this one, with currently Harrison Day leading across the line by 12.3 seconds. He's equally got that gap to Travis Shaw. Travis Shaw looking for a first podium on the season. Of course, this AC40 rookie class is a cup competition, not a full championship. So they need to achieve a certain amount of points before they get promoted to the AC40s. And we've got just over a lap left to go in this one. So Chloe's got around about 16 more corners if she's going to overtake and take her best race result of the season. Back in, well, it's currently 6th position that picked up in Wilton Mill. Callum Maxwell in 5th position. And we've got about a lap left to go on this one, as across the line comes Harrison Day to start his final lap. And he's led from flag to flag. He's just got a few corners left. And Harrison Day will be picking up an absolutely brilliant start to the weekend. He's just absolutely had blistering pace in both qualifying and in the race, and he's really put the pressure on the likes of Oliver Hall and Travis Shaw to close in and really try and stay with him. But Harrison has done a brilliant job of just leading from the front and has held on to it. And we've just got a few more corners left to go, and he's closing in on this battle between Sue and Maxwell, but across the line will go Harrison Day. And what a win from the young man. The 15 bike comes across the line, and he's going to have a huge margin ahead of Oliver Hall. He's going to pick up another podium, so congratulations goes to Oliver Hall. Arm up in the air. You can see how excited he is to pick up another podium. He's starting to rack them up now, and across the line here comes Travis Shaw. First podium of the season for Travis Shaw. Well done to Travis Shaw. First podium for him. Lewis Hull will come in 4th place, but you can see all 3 riders delighted as they cross the line.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's brilliant to see all these riders learning as they go along in this AC40 Rookies class, and now they're learning what it feels like when all their hard work pays off. You could see Oliver Hall was delighted with that one, but there's battles still brewing on in this race as Chloe Sewell battles it out with Callum Maxwell for 5th place as Callum Maxwell comes towards the line to take the flag, and it will be Callum Maxwell that takes that 5th spot ahead of Chloe Sewell, and the number 134 of Zach Pennegar down in 7th place after crashing and rejoining earlier on in this race. But yeah, you could see just how delighted Harrison Day was with that win, and equally how happy Oliver Hall and Travis Shaw were with those podiums as well. But like you say, for Oliver Hall, he was looking for that podium for so long, and once it came, they came like London buses. Once one came, they all came to follow as well. So Oliver Hall, a name we expect to see consistently on the podium in this AC40 Rookies Cup. But a brilliant win then for Harrison Day, who took it by 13.7 seconds it was in the end. It's going to be really interesting to see how these riders cope with these half and half conditions here at Rowrah. So it's going to be Harrison Day then who's lining up on pole position on the number 15 bike, just ahead of Oliver Hall, who picked up a podium yesterday. Lewis Hull is 3rd on the grid on the number 5 machine, ahead of Travis Shaw in 4th. Callum Maxwell rounds out your top 5 on the grid on the number 111 machine. Chloe Sewell in 6th, and Zach Pennegar rounding out your grid on the number 134.
Yep, and it was Harrison Day that took the race yesterday and did a fantastic job of moving up and taking the pole position and streaking away and really doing a brilliant job. And of course, this is FAB-Racing. It is an official partner to the Bennett's British Superbikes and part of Dorna's Road to MotoGP. And this is the first step. And the likes of Harrison Day will be having his eyes firmly on that prize, and he's looking very nicely placed indeed to pick up a hat-trick of victories. Only a couple of people have done that so far this season, and Harrison very, very strong over the last 2 rounds, and we'll see what he can do from the pole position as they come around to line up on the grid, getting ready to start their 2nd race of the weekend. As we said, Harrison Day took the first win yesterday morning, with Oliver Hall in 2nd and Travis Shaw picking up his first podium of the season in 3rd place. Travis lines up from 4th on the grid, just alongside a fast-starting Lewis Hull. And Lewis didn't have the best of races yesterday, so watch out for the young rider on the 5 bike. he will be looking to the lights and trying to get a jump on the two riders ahead as they get ready to kick off Sunday morning action here from Rowrah. Lights on, lights off. It's a good start from the poleman as up into the lead goes Harrison Day. Oliver Hall staying with him very nicely as they make their way through the chicane for the first time. But already you can see Harrison Day with a nice exit out of the chicane and just broke a little bit of a gap between himself and Oliver Hall. Behind, we've got that gap between Travis Shaw, who's made his way up past Lewis Hull once again into third position.
Yeah, Oliver Hall's looking really determined at the moment in this opening stages of this race. He made sure to get right onto the back wheel of Harrison Day, and he doesn't want him running away like he did yesterday. Slightly different conditions to yesterday, but still quite a bit of dry track out there. So Harrison Day definitely with the advantage going into this race after the performance we've seen from him so far this weekend, and he's already edging out a bit of a gap at the front. But you can be assured that Oliver Hall isn't going to give it up. He's got a second place yesterday. He's going to be looking to go one better in this race today, but he's going to have to really put an effort in to stay with that number 15 of Harrison Day, because he's absolutely flying this weekend. Another rider doing well this weekend is Lewis Hull. He was third on the grid on the number 5 machine and running third in this race as well. Also looking further back at Zach Speed Pennegar on the number 134 bike with the red leathers, also enjoying this weekend. Told us earlier this weekend, Gareth, that he's looking for speed this weekend.
Yeah, he tells us quite regularly that's exactly what he's got his eye on. He's had a really good start and he's made his way up from 7th into 5th and just ahead of Chloe Saul, who's sporting those new leathers this weekend, and she's looking at picking up her best result of the season. She equalled it yesterday with 6th place, and she'll be looking at closing in and passing Zach Pennegar, who's done a brilliant job. Great run off the line for Zach to get up past both Zach Pennegar and Kyle Maxwell, but you can see those two battling over the final positions on the circuit. Harrison Day, however, at the front is already starting to break a gap, 1.475 of a second over Oliver Hall in second position. Travis Shaw 3 seconds back from them. So Harrison really showing us that he seems to have the edge on everyone else here this weekend. Yeah,
absolutely. So he's completely determined this weekend. He's picked up a win and pole position so far. Obviously 2 races to go, including this one, and he's going to be looking to pick up another win as Chloe Saul makes a move on Zach Pennegar for 6th position. So these two battling it out further back. Of course, all the riders in this category learning as they go along and enjoying their racing here in the AC40 Rookies. But it's the number 15 of Harrison Day who's absolutely flying out the front of this one. A 2.9 second gap he had across line and is absolutely pulling away from the rest of the field at the moment. Oliver Hall in a bit of a lonely second place at the moment, and Travis Shaw looking good to pick up a second podium, but he's coming under a little bit of pressure from Lewis Hull.
He is, but it is Harrison Day that is, as you say, really enjoying this Cumbria Kart Circuit up in Rowrah. Already built himself almost a 5-second advantage as we go with 6 laps left to go on this one. So plenty more time for action. But at the moment at the front, it is Harrison Day on the 15 that is streaking away into the distance. Exactly what we saw from the young man yesterday when he did exactly the same thing. But behind, it's Oliver Hall. Now, Oliver had a brilliant weekend at Ella, and he's a young rider that we've loved watching out of the commentary box because he's so enthusiastic about his racing. You can see every single time he was desperately trying to get on that podium, and when it happened at Ella, he was fist bumping, he was jumping for joy. As soon as he got off the bike, ran straight over to his dad, and he was so elated. It's so good to see these young riders when they get that achievement that they desperately want, how they react to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oliver Hall and his dad are working so hard in this AC40 rookie class. They're down training at M4 karting a lot, and you can see how determined he was in all the interviews. He really wanted to pick up that first podium, pick up those medals, and he did it in style back at Ella Park, picking up a win and a couple of podiums there, and looking good to pick up a couple more podiums this weekend in a strong second position at the moment. But no one is quite a match for Harrison Day out the front at this point in time. He's absolutely flying around this Rowrah circuit, but Oliver Hall doing a brilliant job there to hold on to that second place. He's got a nice gap behind him, so he just needs to go around around, hit his markers, get in a good rhythm and make sure he finishes and takes those 20 points in this AC40 Rookies Cup. Of course, once these riders reach 234 points, they then move up into the AC40 Pro class. And another rider doing well in this one, this is the battle for third place between Travis Shaw and Lewis Hull. Travis Shaw on the number 4 machine, just ahead of Lewis Hull. Lewis needs to put a bit of a shift on to get onto the back wheel of Travis Shaw, but anything can happen in these races, as we've seen all weekend and all season long. But brilliant ride from Travis Shaw at the moment. Picked up a podium as well yesterday, so another rider we're seeing doing really well in this AC40 rookie class and coming into their own in this in their first season of racing. Yeah,
Travis, who picked up his best result, it was 4th place back at Wilton Mill just a few rounds ago. As you said, came and picked up a podium, his first of the season yesterday, and he's looking pretty well placed for a second one, with Lewis Hull not quite able to keep in touch with the 4 of Travis Shaw, who is just about a second and a half ahead of Lewis Hull. And so Travis, as you say, brilliant job, but it is this battle between Zach Pennicar and Chloe Sewell, and they've traded positions a couple of times over the last few laps. And Zach, as you said, Speed Pennicar, we're going to try and get him that nickname, because he's a lovely lad to talk to in the paddock. And in fact, he just watches Chloe Sewell sail past him down that back straight in towards Stewart at turn 6, and Zach's going to have to come back at her. But we've already seen these two trade positions a couple of times. I think we're going to expect to see it a few more times.
Yeah, absolutely. So these two are absolutely battling it out on circuit, swapping positions as this race goes on, and learning all the time in this AC40 rookie class. As we always say, these riders in their first season of racing and learning the ropes here at FAB-Racing, with 3 laps to go in this race. It's a brilliant battle brewing between Zach Pennicar and Chloe Sewell, with Harrison Day flying out the front, 12.7 seconds ahead of anyone else. Oliver Hall there in that lonely second place, and Travis Shaw also in third, trying to fend off Lewis Hull. But looks as if Chloe Sewell is just pulling away from Speed Pennicar now, so she's put the hammer down and is just consolidating that 6th place.
Yeah, and they're actually now starting to come under threat from Harrison Day, and Harrison circulating the track 3 seconds a lap faster than anyone else, but he will slowly be starting to catch Speed Pennicar and Chloe Sewell, and Chloe, who is sporting those new leathers, looking very nice. All the bike, the helmet and the leathers all decked out in pink, white and black, and is always nice, a little bit of colour coordination. But Chloe is another young rider that is, as you say, we're starting off her career in bikes, and we see the likes of Bailey Lawrence, we see the likes of Holly Harris, so there is females here in FAB-Racing, and if you look at the likes of Holly Harris, they can go off and do very good things.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, it's no secret that motorcycle racing is a male dominated sport in general, but you do see girls coming into these races and doing really well. We had Anna Carrasco, obviously won the World Championship not so long ago. Maria Herrera is a very very fast female rider. I remember racing against her in the World Supersport 300 and had some incredible corner speed. But and Chloe Sewell as well in this, doing really well. But it's the final lap here for the AC40 rookies, and this man, the number 15 on the bright orange AC40 mini motor, has been absolutely unstoppable out the front as he goes on to complete this final lap here at Rowrah for race 2 for the AC40 rookies. No one has been able to stick with Harrison Day so far this weekend. He's picked up a win yesterday, and he's looking very strong to be picking up another win here today for their first race of the day. The first race of the day here at Rowrah for all these Sunday races, as Harrison Day comes on to complete the final lap down into the final corner for the final time. A brilliant result it's going to be for Harrison Day, who's going to come round Paddock Bend. Big moment for Harrison Day, 2 wins on the trot, comes over to take the flag. Brilliant win there for Harrison Day, and Oliver Hall is going to come round to pick up his second podium. Chloe Sewell comes round to pick up 6th place, so a brilliant result for the number 101 as well. Zach Pennicar rounding out the race in 7th, and Oliver Hall coming round to pick up that 2nd place. Another podium for the number 3.
Yeah, brilliant race there from Harrison Day. He picks up a double, and we'll see if he can go for that hat-trick and join an exclusive club this season later on today. But you can see across the line, even just looking through the visor of the young man, he was very happy indeed. Bobbing his head, he came round the final corner. He is a double race winner here at Rowrah, and cruising back to pit road is Harrison Day, your race winner for race 2 of the AC40 Rookies, the opening race of day 2 here at Cumbria Kart Circuit. You can see punching the air is Harrison Day, very, very happy. And, well, he won at a canter, 17.3 seconds. And he is seemingly very much enjoying this circuit. We'll see if Harrison can continue this form as we go into the likes of Red Lodge and Handau later on in this season. You can see Harrison absolutely elated with that performance there. And he was doing a brilliant job of just pulling away lap for lap. He was about 3 seconds a lap faster than anyone else for the majority of that one. However, Oliver Hall picking up another podium in second position, and Travis Shaw, his second podium on the season, back in third.
The AC40 Rookies riders starting off their careers on these air-cooled 40cc mini moto machines, and one rider that's been doing really well in this class at the moment is Oliver Hall, who we're just looking at now, as well as Harrison Day, who's just been unstoppable this weekend, Gareth.
Yeah, very, very much so. Oliver Hall, who has had a brilliant weekend at Ella Park at 2 weeks ago. He will be looking at going one better this time. He's had to, unfortunately, he hasn't really been able to stick with Harrison Day, who's had some blistering pace. But as you say, this is very much the first step for these young riders in their way, on the way to BSB and to the, effectively, up to MotoGP. They want to be the next British talent. But if you just joined us for the afternoon session, thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Gareth Hall, joined as always by Trystan Finocchiaro. And we'll be bringing you all of the afternoon session here from round 6 of the FAB-Racing Minibike British Championship, and it's the AC40 Rookies up first, and Harrison Day, who picked up a brilliant pole position, a second faster than Oliver Hall in second place, with Lewis Hull back in third. Two-time podium sitter this weekend, Travis Shaw in fourth, with Callum Maxwell in fifth, Chloe Sewell in sixth position, and Zach Speed Pennegar back in seventh. We're going to try and coin that nickname for him. He's a really lovely lad to speak to in the paddock, and he's desperate out there to get a good result. And we saw him have a good first start to the second race, and fell back a little bit later, but he's definitely got the pace there to challenge.
Yeah, absolutely so. Zach Pennegar, we spoke to him earlier in the weekend. We also spoke to him back at Ella Park, and he explained to us that he's looking to achieve speed this weekend on that AC40 Rookie machine. So and he's been brilliant to watch as well. He had a good battle last time out, last race earlier on today with Chloe Sewell, and that was a brilliant battle that would brewed further back in that race. Chloe Sewell getting the better of Zach Pennegar in the end in that one, and it was a brilliant result as well for Chloe Sewell earlier on in this one. But plenty of names to look out for, as well as the number 111 of Callum Maxwell, also in his first season of racing this year. But it's your pole man, Harrison Day, lining up on pole position. Of course, son of Josh Day, who was the 2019 Ducati Tri-Options champion and looking to defend that title this year. But now his focus, you can just see him there helping out his son on pole position, and his focus this weekend is on Harrison and what Harrison can do this weekend. Will he be able to make it 3 from 3, or will Oliver Hall be able to get his own way in this one? You have to say Harrison Day looks as the favourite going into this one, but anything can happen in the racing as they look to the lights are on, and now the lights are off, and they're going down to the first corner for the final time this weekend for the AC40 Rookies. Down to the first corner, everyone away nice and clean. You can see Callum Maxwell in there, also Zach Speed Pennegar in there as well. Harrison Day, though, with a brilliant lead at the moment, already eking out a bit of a gap over Oliver Hall, and they've only done 3 corners so far, using all the track on the exit. There is Harrison Day as they go down into Iredale's hairpin for the first time for race 3 for the AC40 Rookies. Also another brilliant start there from Travis Shaw on the number 4 machine. He's now up into 3rd spot, so a brilliant start there from Travis Shaw from 4th up to 3rd. We saw him picking up podiums earlier in this weekend as well, but Oliver Hall it was, who's been working so hard to get onto that podium, and now is just consistently on it.
Yeah, he is, and he is closing in on Harrison Day, but Harrison has been very strong so far this weekend, and very much checked out in the opening 2 races, so I'm sure Oliver will be desperately trying to hold on to him, but Yeah, it's going to be a hard task, you've got to think, if you are Oliver Hall. He was, we've seen, as you said, he's been working very hard with his dad, M4 Karting, to pick up his pace, and he's really been showing it over the last few races. He had his best weekend of the season back at Ella Park, and 2 podiums already so far this weekend. He'd like to go one better, but if you're going to be on the podium, you might as well do it in all 3 races.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's once he got that first one, the rest came like London buses, and he's just been racking up those podiums and racking up the points in this AC40 Rookies Cup. Of course, once these riders reach 234 points, they are then obliged to move up into the AC40 Pro category, which is the next step for these riders. And it's a brilliant formula that works really well, because this AC40 Rookie category, they're all the same, they're all in the same boat, they're all in their first season of racing, and they're all trying to compete against each other. They're learning as they're going on, but they can also compete for solid results and not having to worry about competing against riders that have a little bit more experience. You know, the likes of Ethan Sparks that we see in the AC40 Pro category, that have been around doing this for a couple of seasons now, second in the championship last year. But this means that they can learn and then look to progress up into the AC40 Pro category. And we've seen riders do that, such as Byron Johnson, Finley Polehill, who unfortunately suffered from a broken collarbone this weekend. Byron Johnson's move up to there, and these riders will be looking to do that as well. And you've got to think the next person to be able to do that is your current race leader, Harrison Day. Yeah,
who has already started this race in exactly the same fashion that we saw him do the opening 2. He's already built himself a 5.6 second advantage, just a few laps done already, and Harrison on the 15 machine looking very, very well placed to once again pick up a good result. Travis Shaw hadn't finished on the podium until this season. He's already picked up 2, gets a slightly slower exit out of the first hairpin there at McRae's, but down towards Ardale's, and we'll see if Travis can hold on to this one. His dad was using the bike to be part of the senior Minimoto dad's race that we'll see later on this afternoon, but Travis very much one-upping his dad and getting on the podium consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure Travis Shaw will be just comparing his lap times to his dad's, and just bloating a little bit to Danny Shaw, who was riding in the senior mini motos earlier on. But it's brilliant to see the dads out there having fun, but now their focus is on the young ones. Harrison Day, who's out the front of this one, flying away at the front once again. This is a sight we're used to seeing this weekend. He's just been such a dominant force, and he's really in a good place to be picking up 3 wins from 3 this weekend, with 5 laps to go in the final race for the AC40 Rookies. So Harrison Day is the lead now by almost 9 seconds it was across the line, and with 5 laps to go, you're going to have to think that he is the favourite to be picking up this 3rd win so far this weekend. Oliver Hall in another lonely 2nd place at the moment. He's got a good gap over Travis Shaw, so you're seeing a few gaps in this field, but Oliver Hall doing really well to cling on to that one. That's going to be 3 2nd places from 3 if he can keep it like this, and he's in a very good place to do it. But Harrison Day, 3 seconds a lap quicker than anyone else.
Yeah, he is, and just really blitzing this field is Harrison Day, and doing a stellar job out there on that AC40 rookie bike. And so for those that maybe haven't seen these rookie classes before, what is the benefit, because these young riders as young as 6 years old starting their career, what is the benefit for the likes of Harrison Day, who's really on his own at the moment? Is it just track time, getting used to the tracks, getting used to perhaps riding off camber corners, uphill, downhill? Of course, this track here has everything. It's got hairpins, it's got fast rights, it's got fast lefts. What's the benefit for Harrison being out there on his own?
Well, they're at the point in their careers at the moment where every single thing they're going to be doing is they're going to be learning from it. This is going to be they're going to be up against new challenges all the time, because it's obviously their first season of racing. So Harrison Day, he's now had 2 races of experience of leading at the front, so he knows what it's like now to pull away at the front and put down a solid rhythm at the front faster than anyone else. And that's something he's learning as he's going on. He's learning as he's doing it. And another rider that's learning as he's going on and learning to get that speed that he's looking for is Mr. Speed himself, Zach Pennegar, on the number 134, fighting with Chloe Sewell at the moment. This is the battle for 6th place. We saw these 2 battling away earlier on, and it was Chloe Sewell that got the better of Speed Pennegar earlier on, but we can see if Zach can get one on Chloe Sewell in this one, and it's going to be an interesting battle between these 2. And it's brilliant to see all through this field, they're all learning, they're all having battles with each other, they're learning their racecraft, they're learning their lines, and they're learning a completely different new circuit here at Rowrah. Yeah,
of course, this is all new to these young riders that are on all these circuits for the first time this season, and as you say, they earn a certain amount of points before they head up to the AC40 Pros, which we've already seen the likes of Austin and Byron Johnson, and equally Finley Polehill. Of course, we do send our best wishes to for his recovery from a broken collarbone that he suffered in practice on Friday, and he will, I'm sure, be absolutely gutted that he's not being able to attend the AC40 Pros this weekend. But Chloe Sewell closing in on Speed Pennegar, trying to look to the outside, and we've noticed this about the rookies before and the pros on the mini bikes, is they tend to explore the track, don't they, to try and find those opportunities to pass. And it's really good to see these young riders using their initiative, not taking the same line and just following each other.
Yeah, absolutely so. They do really well. I'm really impressed at how mature the racing actually is in the AC40 rookie class. Of course, they're still learning absolutely everything about this sport in the early days, and looking for every way around. You can see Chloe Sewell all over the back wheel of Zach Penegor and trying to get through on him in every way possible. But at the moment, one rider that's doing really well in his first season of racing is Harrison Day out the front, leading by some way. The number 15 bike, the bright orange bike of Harrison Day out front. Harrison McKay we'll see later on this weekend. But Zach Pennegar now just pulling away from Chloe Sewell. So Speed Pennegar just pulling away from the number 101 now, and might have this 6th place in the bag. Well, you can just see here now Harrison Day coming around to lap these guys. So Harrison Day on a pace that's absolutely superior to anyone else, with 2 laps to go in this AC40 rookie racing. You can just see he looks so confident around this Rowrah circuit. He's really got his lines nailed to perfection, and looks really good on that little air-cooled 40cc mini motor. Of course, all these riders running the same 40cc air-cooled Blatter engine to keep everything fair and everything equal for these riders in their first season of racing. And it provides us with great racing, and it provides a perfect platform for these riders to start off their careers, start learning, and keep progressing with their careers and with their racing. But now we're on to the final lap for the AC40 rookies.
Yep, as Harrison Day comes around to lap Chloe Sewell and Speed Pennegar, who are currently in 6th and 7th position. He's just going to go to the inside, and hopefully Chloe will just take a quick glance over her shoulder just to see that the leader is coming through. Just about gets caught out by Zach Pennegar, who will very much be focusing on his own race. He won't want to get caught by Chloe Sewell, but up the inside does go Harrison Day, and Harrison has been absolutely brilliant this weekend, and the young rider on the 15 machine has just been head and shoulders ahead of everyone else, on a different planet to the rest of the riders in this rookie class. And you can see a 20-second advantage over Oliver Hall, and I think this is the biggest gap he's had so far this weekend as they come around the final few corners. Harrison Day has had a brilliant weekend. He's going to enter his name into the short list of riders this season that have picked up a hat-trick of wins over the weekend. He's going to round the final corner, and Harrison Day coming to the line, 3 from the 15, arm up in the air. Harrison Day is your race winner here in the AC40 rookie class. Around comes Zach Pennegar. He finishes ahead of Chloe Sewell a lap down. It's going to be Oliver Hall and Travis Shaw, if all goes to plan, on the podium, with Oliver Hall picking up a 3rd consecutive 2nd place finish. So once again, Oliver will be delighted, and he'll be picking up the podiums that he was desperately craving earlier on in this season. Travis Shaw, equally, he hadn't been on the podium until this weekend. Well, he's got 3 of them, so I'm sure Travis will be leaving West Cumbria absolutely delighted.
Yeah, absolutely so. He's got all the points that he could ask for, and we will expect to see him moving up to the AC40 Pros very shortly indeed, because he is definitely proving he has what it takes to make that step up. So what an exciting moment for the number 15 of Harrison Day, racking up the points and getting closer and closer to that AC40 Pro Championship that will be next in his sights. And we've seen riders move up from this category into there and do very well indeed. The likes of Byron Johnson, Austin Johnson, Finley Polehill, who unfortunately hasn't actually been able to, only got 3 laps in the AC40 Pro Championship after crashing out and breaking his collarbone. So we wish him all the best as the season goes on. We're not quite sure if we're going to see him again this season, but we wish him all the best. Hope he gets well soon, and we'll hope to see him back next year.